Joined by head coach Chris Yeager from the University of Lynchburg men's soccer. They were picked number 2 in this year's preseason poll. Coach, want to talk to you a little bit about last season. This is your 20th season coming in here starting this fall. But last year, undoubtedly unique and different for everybody coming in. Talk a little bit about just being able to compete out there, and then you go out there and you win a championship, defeating a good Guilford squad 5-1.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting year, to say the least. I mean, like you were talking about, are they more fit? Are they more ready for the season? That kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be, time will tell. I think the preseason is a little bit longer, especially in our case because we started classes so soon. We started August 9th, which is different than a lot of other schools. So we've been here. We've been training for a few days. I think this is day 4, I think, for us. So I don't know. I mean, I think each kid's different. Each kid, we have a bunch of kids coming in with some injuries, bunch of kids that, played all summer. And then we have some kids that didn't play for the last 4 weeks due to injury. So, looking at each one in a different capacity, it's just, I think we'll see what happens when we get to our first game, but I don't know. The spring was fun, but it was crazy, just like everybody else. I know administrative wise, you guys were nuts. Didn't feel like there was much of a break. We kind of went home a little bit, maybe July was a little bit of a break, but like I said, in our case, we were back the last week in July, having to be in the office and getting going again. So the good part is I don't think the guys feel it. I don't think they feel it at all. They're excited to be back on campus and ready to go. So that's a good thing. I think that may help us as administrators and coaches. We'll see.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think so. But think back a little bit, looking at what happened last fall, where everything got lost, and you're trying to figure out what's going to happen here. What did it mean for your guys, kind of collectively, to be able to get out there and really put together as full a season as we could?
Yeah, I think it was great. I mean, I know in our case here at Lynchburg, we push very hard to get going and to do everything we can. But if you do really think back to it, I mean, I'm looking back through notes of practices, and it was, no contact, and, and then groups of 7, and then, everybody kind of went through that, and it was just strange, and if you look through my notes, it's like quarantine, and it's just, you never had the full squad out there. So by the time we got to the spring, we were in a pretty good place. And in our case, we were lucky because we really didn't lose a lot of players as far as through quarantining and things like that. We didn't lose a game where a lot of teams did. So we were pretty happy with that, and excited for other teams as well. I mean, we were just happy to be on the field, happy to be out there with each other, and luckily we had some success with it. So but yeah, I felt for a lot of other teams as well too, and I felt for a lot of teams here on campus, same thing, that especially the basketballs, that was brutal, just to kind of see the way they went through their testing compared to ours. It's just different. So being an outdoor sport was definitely a benefit for once.
How about that? I mean, it's always a benefit. Come on.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
I know. Let's take a look at your team here coming in this year. A lot of guys back from last year's team, and I think a couple guys may be coming back for a 5th season as well, taking advantage of that opportunity from the NCAA waivers. Talk a little bit about the state of your squad and who you expect to be the leaders for you out there this year.
Yeah, I think we have kids returning. I mean, like you said, Kyle Gallagher in goal will return, and he's looking very good right now. We lost Ben Mackey in the middle, so that's one of the 5th-year guys we were hoping to get back, but he's often in the workforce, so we're excited for him. We returned Nick Foley, who is in PA school, so that's all new as well too. New for us, new for him. Class 8 to 5, so it's been pretty crazy. So we're looking for those guys to step up big time for us, and I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see what happens. Even for Nick and Kyle, it's all new. 5th year, it's new for them, and they have new difficulties they're going through as well too. So we'll just, we're sitting here in the office trying to explain schedules to each other and trying to figure out how to get them to practice. So like I said, we practiced 4 times, and we've had our full squad once, just because of classes and everything else, life basically. But yeah, we're excited for the guys that are returning, and we have some new guys coming in too that hopefully can keep us going.
Well, I hear you, and keeping going is what you're going to need to when you look at the conference this year coming in, because the top of the league and really getting down and through the traditional, if you will, middle of the league, it just keeps on getting better and better. We look at a team, like your championship opponent last year, Guilford. They go through a marathon against Roanoke with the storm game and double overtime, getting through on PKs, and then coming up against you. And maybe energy could be something. Maybe there was a little fatigue from that one, but still, that's a good team that you beat 5-1 in that championship. Talk about what you think about this season coming in and how competitive you think the league is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be competitive from the top to the bottom. There's no doubt. I mean, I think, like you said, Guilford's had an unbelievable run at the end as well. They play a different style than everybody else, so that gives a lot of people problems. I know he'll continue to do that and continue to cause problems in the league. Hampton-Sydney was right up there as well too. They had an unbelievable year. They've had 2 really, really good years under Tommy, and we know that they're going to be there. And like you said, it just becomes like Bridgewater's going to bounce back. Eastern Mennonite's going to bounce back. You have Ferrum jumping in there now. So, with being full up and running, and then you have Averitt coming in as well. So it's going to be there. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to be in the top 4. You don't know who's going to be in the bottom 4 in that 8, since we lost to 9-10. So I think it's, and the point breakdown was crazy, and I think that's the part that is scary to all of this, is that, a 3-point swing is a big difference. So I don't know. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be stressful like usual. And it's I think we're all happy right now because we haven't played games, so it's everything's good right now.
Well, it wouldn't be fun if it wasn't stressful, right? But
Yes.
we're looking forward to seeing your team get out there and the rest of them as you try to figure out who's going to be those top 8 when we get to November and it's time for the ODAC tournament. Coach, I want to thank you for joining me today.